Hi everyone, happy Saturday or Sunday if you're watching this late, and welcome back to another Clues by Sam. We have our fourth tricky one in the week. So this is a new thing to happen. I hope it is harder than yesterday's, but not as hard that many people who are trying a tricky one for the first time don't get stuck. But if you do, I'll be explaining the logic as I solve and hopefully get a perfect solve today. So if you don't know what the game is, there are 20 people here, and each of them has to either be a criminal or an innocent, and I'm gonna help you, and they are gonna help you with the clues that they give us to figure out who is what. So the link to play is in the description, and we shall start today. With Zoe telling us that Brian is one of 3 innocents in column B. So where's Brian? Ooh, Paul is a goat. That's why he's the goat. Okay. Column B, innocents. There's another 4 people here in column B. 2 of them have to be innocents and 2 of those have to be criminals. So we keep that in mind. But Brian says that in a number of innocents in column B, neighbor Logan. So there's 3 people here in column B, the neighbor Logan, and of all of them, we know that at most 2 could be innocents because we know there's 2 more innocents in that column. And if 2 people, the neighbor Logan, are innocents, then that's not an odd number, which means that there's only one of the 3 people who neighbor Logan that is an innocent, and that makes the second innocent below Brian here be the only person who is not neighboring Logan. So it's Vicky, but we still don't know who the innocent that neighbors Logan is. Vicky says there's only one innocent below Frank, so we know that the second innocent that neighbors, the second innocent below Brian here is not Frank. But I did it again. I changed it up. Okay, so we know that the second innocent below Brian is Frank because there's only one innocent below Frank, and that innocent is Vicky. Oh my god. So Frank is the innocent, and Janet and Goat are both criminals here. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Well, we solved an entire column at once. And now Frank says that row 4 is the only row with exactly 2 innocents. So that means that row 5 needs at least 1 more. And Janet says that exactly 1 innocent in row 4 is neighboring Logan. So Logan has, again, 3 people in row 4 neighboring him, and one of the 2 people not revealed yet has to be an innocent. The other person is going to be a criminal. And since we know from Frank that there's 2 innocents in row 4, that makes Oscar the second innocent. So now I know how to count all of a sudden. And let's leave Frank's clue there to remind us that this is the only row, but Janet's clue isn't needed anymore. Oscar says that only one of the 2 criminals neighboring Tina is in row 3. So Tina has 2 people in row 3 neighboring her. One of them is going to be a criminal, the other one is going to be an innocent. And because we know that row 3 can have 2 innocents, that makes Ivan a criminal. Tina also has 2 criminals neighboring her, so that makes Kita and Wanda opposites, because among them there's only going to be 1 more criminal. Now, everybody's tagged here, so I don't need Oscar's clue anymore. Ivan says that Alice is one of 12 innocents on the edges. Okay, so only 2 people on the edges are criminals. And Ivan is one of them. What do I do now? I think we gotta look at Tina. Well, have an ambulance. If we make Tina a criminal, it doesn't work. Because you guys are gonna hit the ambulance, but ignore it. If we make Tina a criminal, because Kita and Wanda are opposites, and Kita is opposites with Tina, Wanda ends up being a criminal as well, and we have too many criminals on the edges. We know there's only 2, so Tina has to be an innocent in this case, which makes Kita a criminal and Wanda an innocent. And We still don't know about Logan and Nicole, so we leave Ivan's clue there because it could be Nicole, the last criminal on the edge. Tina says that only one of the 4 criminals neighboring Frank is in row 2. So Frank has 2 people neighboring him in row 2. Either Erwin or Gary, who are the 2 people in that row neighboring Frank, are going to be a criminal. The other one's going to be an innocent, so we tag them as opposites. And Frank has to have 2 more criminals. Oh, 1 more criminal because he already has Ivan and Janet. So Chuck and Logan are opposites too because only one of them is going to be a criminal here. So now, is it the same thing as happened to Tina? Because if we make Chuck a criminal, that makes Nicole a criminal too, and we have too many criminals on the edges. So Chuck has to be an innocent, Logan a criminal, and Nicole an innocent. Nice. Good. I like this. I like when we kind of repeat the same mechanic on the same puzzle more than one time because it helps exercise it and stick it to your brain. I'm really frustrated that I got that yellow because it had absolutely nothing to do with the mechanic being hard, but we're gonna get over it. Nicole now says there's an equal number of criminals in columns A and B. And we know there's 2 criminals in column B, so column A has to have 2 as well, which lets us know that our last criminal on the edge is here in column A. And neither Happy or Donna are gonna be a criminal. So, good. Donna now says only one row has exactly 3 innocents. And it's either gonna be row 2 or row 5. And if Erwin is a criminal, then he makes both row 2 and row 5. Oh, no, that's the opposite. If Erwin is an innocent, he makes both row 2 and row 5 have 3 innocents. So Erwin couldn't be an innocent. And that's the puzzle done. Oh, I could have gotten such a good time with... Oh, I did have a good time, but I could have a perfect with such a good time. I'm not gonna beat myself up. Sorry. It's really frustrating when it's all my fault that I don't read a clue right. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the sort of new mechanic and how I explained it. Tagging in this scenario is like so necessary because without the tagging, right there, let me close this. Without the tagging here for Tina's neighbors with Kita and Wanda, and without the tagging here for Frank, for Logan and Chuck, we wouldn't have caught it as fast. So it's always important to, when you have a total number of either innocents or criminals for a person, to keep track of that when you get a new pair. So if you get a new pair here with Frank like we did, you sort of go around the total count you have again and look at the neighbors that Frank already has revealed and see if somebody else becomes a pair because of the new pair that you found. I hope that was understandable, made sense. So really good teaching mechanic there. And I'll leave you guys here for now. See you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam. Bye-bye.